Danny Flexon here for Seconds Out. Delighted to be joined by unbeaten middleweight CAOIMHIN AgyaRko. How you doing?
I'm doing very well. Late middleweight now.
Oh, you've gone down, of course. I should have remembered from Twitter last night. What prompted the change then? That's a good place to start. Why have you moved down?
Do you know what? Al Smith, my coach, has always been on to me since I joined the gym about making light middleweight. It wasn't something that I felt that I needed to do. I boxed it for a stage at light heavy in the amateurs. I fought at middleweight, 75 kg, nearly off my whole career in the amateurs at senior level. So I didn't really see the need to go down. But now in the pro ranks, it's completely different, and I do make 160 quite comfortably. Eddie Hearn came into me after my last performance and said about, why don't we try and make 154, and Al wants me to, and I said, why not? I love a challenge, so it'll be interesting to see if I can make it healthily, which I believe I can. I've got a new nutritionist on board. He thinks I will make it no problem, and there's some exciting fights to be made at that.
Who's on your kind of hit list at 154?
You're never going to get that out of me. I always say I don't look at anybody and say I want him or him. I'm in competition with no one but myself. I'll try and better myself every day, and whoever's put in front of me is put in front of me. I'll be keeping a very close eye on this fight with Larajo and Metcalf. I'd love the winner of that. But there's some very big names. You got Liam Smith. Obviously he's world level. Do you know what I mean? I'd have to climb the ranks to earn that shot against someone like Liam. You've got Troy Williamson, who's a very, very good fighter, very nice guy as well. I believe he might be moving up to middleweight, but there's a lot of fights there to be made. And Josh Kelly, good fighter. I'd like someone like Spike O'Sullivan in Ireland, Croke Park, if the Katie fight happens. You know what I mean? Everyone always says about the domestic scene. I'm an Irish fighter. Domestically Irish, speak to me. Do you know what I mean? Luke Keeler, Jason Quigley, Spike O'Sullivan, any of them guys speak to me about. But in terms of if it was them guys who are British, would only make sense for me if it was like a European title or something like that.
Talking of Luke Keeler, you've never been offered a fight with him, have you?
Never. Luke confirmed that this morning.
What was that all about, you and Shane Watson? It's not the first time you guys have gone head-to-head on social media. Is there actual beef there for any reason?
I just don't think the guy likes me for whatever reason. I haven't a clue why. He made a smart comment a while back on my Twitter. I don't know, something about sparring, and I didn't really get what he meant. And he never explained himself. And then obviously he then said about Lerone Richards and whatever else. I give my input on that. I feel like John Ryder is the main guy and domestically anyway at that weight. Lerone's a friend of mine and a very, very good fighter, but I call it how it is. But yeah, Shane, I mean, he's a Rangers fan, I think, and he must have been pissed off at me being a Celtic fan. I put a tweet up last night saying, I can't remember what the tweet, but something like absolutely beautiful, something like that, whatever it was. Yeah, and yeah, exactly. And he didn't like it, and he just went on and started talking nonsense. I was hoping he was here today. I was going to pull him on it, see what he had to say then. Do you know what I mean?
But he hasn't got anyone at your weight particularly, has he, at Super Welter? So I'm not sure if it could lead to anywhere.
Like first off, he said none of my guys would turn a fight down with Luke Keeler. None of your guys. Let me rephrase that. None of S-Jam fighters are at middleweight. Do you know what I mean? They're not your guys. You ain't got a manager's license, so you're not a manager. So I don't know what you mean by that. And secondly, Luke Keeler has never been presented to me, so I don't know where he's hearing this or getting this information from. Do you know what I mean? And Luke confirmed that himself today. So listen, it is what it is. I don't know whether he was on the piss and just wanted to try and wind me up or whatnot, but it's just nonsense.
On a more light-hearted note, but also connected to your social media accounts, top 10 rappers of all time. How many notifications did you get for that compared to like some of your fights?
Oh, insane! It's still going today. I think there's like 5,000 likes on it, like thousands of retweets and messages. It's
5,000 likes.
Yeah, and it's insane. And it's still going. My phone's still going. It's mad. I was gonna delete it because it was actually doing my head and I was getting so much abuse. But listen, I've been educated on the matter. Do you know what I mean? I give my opinion of my top 10 rappers that I think are the best, who I've listened to, who I've grew up on, and people disagreed with it. But I don't think they got the gist of it was mine, who I listened to. It's not necessarily who are the best in history. It was my best top 10, but I've been educated, like I said, and I've went and listened to Nas, and he definitely makes top 5.
Who's going out of your top 10 to make room for him?
Kanye and Drake, definitely going out. Maybe Kendrick as well.
You've changed it so quickly.
I completely forgot. You got DMX, you got Snoop, you got Dre, Do you know what I mean? You've got Nas. There's a lot of. You've got the game. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot. It's hard to make a top 10. Do you know what I mean? But it's a matter of opinions and who you prefer listening to.
You be reluctant to put another top 10 out in the future, like top 10 movies or something?
I was going to, but I was thinking maybe I shouldn't, causing some sort of drama on social media.
Back to boxing. When are we likely to see you next out?
I should be out July. I'm in training camp now. I'm training very hard. Talked to Eddie today, so I'm just waiting on confirmation. I should have news next week, but it will be July time.
You talked about the possibility of a Katie Taylor fight back in Ireland, and it's been talked about a lot since the Serrano fight. How excited would that make you as an Irishman and a boxer to be on that show?
That would be unbelievable. I would love to fight someone like Spike and all Irish dust up on a massive card like that. That would be insane. It'd be a highlight for my career and something I can look back on and say I fought in Croke Park in front of 90,000 people. It would be insane. But even just for Katie to get that fight, it would be amazing. I'll be there watching, supporting her. What a fight she had last time out. For me, Katie Taylor is one of the greatest athletes of all time. Not only one of the greatest fighters, but athletes. She's an unbelievable fighter. What she's achieved in the sport of boxing is surreal, and for a player, she deserves all the credit she gets.
How likely is that Irish homecoming for her? Of course, obviously you've got aims of being on the undercard. What's Eddie been saying? What's the impression you're getting?
I think it's looking likely now that it could happen, and Katie deserves it. No other Irish fighter deserves it other than Katie. Do you know what I mean? She deserves to go back home and kind of maybe have her last fight in her home country and in front of 90,000 fans. It would be a historic night again, and she deserves that.
And what sort of stuff have you been changing in the gym, if anything, now you've made that decision to go down to 154? Is it just a dietary, a nutritional change, or have you been doing different things in the gym as well?
Just dietary, a nutrition change, but in terms of my technical ability, I'm changing things because I haven't been happy with my last two performances. I've had two great training camps leading up to the fights. The Larios fight, okay, I got the stoppage and I didn't take any damage, and it was a good win. A lot of pressure on me, my first matchroom show. I should have been better last time out. A tough opponent, 18-1, Mexican, awkward southpaw. Only got that on 10 days or on a week's notice. So there was always going to be questions whether I was going to perform best, but I expect so much more of myself. And although it was a fight where I thought I won comfortably, and so did two of the judges, I think one judge gave 2 rounds against me, but I didn't take any damage. So maybe I should give myself credit. Do you know what I mean? I'm doing something right. My last 2 fights, I've went 19 rounds and I probably haven't been hit more than 19 times. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of fighters that have average performances or fights, and they're having to have wars and tear-ups. Do you know what I mean? So I've got to give myself credit, and people got to remember that I'm 25, I'm 11-0. As much as I think I'm good and Eddie's blowing smoke up my arse, the Irish Canelo, I have a lot of learning to do. Do you know what I mean? And it's all right doing it in the gym, but I've got to go out there and show it on the night, and I will do. There's no doubt. I know how good I am. I know what I do in the gym and how well I perform, and I will do that at late middleweight.
And talking about the Irish Canelo, what about the actual Canelo? What did you make of his defeat to Dimitri Bivol?
An incredible performance from Bivol. Got the game plan completely right. Stayed disciplined to his game plan, and fair play to him. He took his opportunity and showed that he's the man at that weight. I think I didn't expect that. I actually had a bet on Bivol to win, a little £20 bet, won me 150 back, but it was kind of just hoping it won. I did expect Canelo to win, but fair play to Bivol. What a performance from him.
Great stuff. Really, really appreciate your time. Yeah, look forward to seeing you back in action.